Hey everybody, we're out here having a good time today on the water today and fishing with my good friend Joe Corley, and we're having a good time. We're talking the Word and enjoying some fishing at the same time. There's some great illustrations from the Bible about fishing, and we'll be talking to you about that one a little bit later, so come along and join us for a good time today. This was actually our second trip this summer. It was great to be with Joe. I learned so much from men like him who are time-tested and proven soldiers of the Lord. And this was my first time to fly fish. And let me tell you, I loved it. Whoops. That wasn't good to get on camera. Joe and I zipped across the river in search of willow flies, as we call them around here. They're actually mayflies, and the fish love them when they're ready to feed. The first time out, we didn't see a single fly. But the second time out, there were a few spots where they were really swarming. Mayflies emerge from the water after as much as 2 years underwater in the nymph stage. They emerge with newly formed wings. They seek shelter on the bankside vegetation and trees while they dry their wings. Here's where they are vulnerable to a fish attack, as Joe and I soon found out. Well, actually, this wasn't much of an attack.
You got a magnifier on that thing?
You can zoom in a little bit.
I know, but have you got a magnifier where you can make him look bigger than you?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought you asked me to zoom. I can zoom in. He looks about 9 or 10 inches long right there. Does that count?
Yeah. Better than...
All of this got me to meditating on James chapter 1, where James talks to Christians about temptation. In verses 14 and 15, he shows where temptation can lead in 4 stages. We are first drawn away, then enticed. Our desire gives birth to sin, and if we let sin grow in our life, it will bring forth spiritual death. Not good. It's just like what happens to a fish. A fisherman will cast his bait upon the water. The fish sees it and leaves its safe place to look a little closer. The fisherman entices by working his bait like a mayfly struggling in the water. The fish's desire builds to a fever pitch, and he goes for it. And where does he end up? In the frying pan. Satan always knows exactly what bait to use on us and exactly when to drop it. He wants to pull us down and destroy us with sin. If we don't repent and turn to the Lord for forgiveness, sin can take us to spiritual death, eternity in hell. And on this hot day, we were being made to think some about that too.
I said, as hot as it is, you could preach on Revelation 21 and 8.
It's not quite that hot yet, is it?
It's getting close.
Yes, hot days can cause us to reflect on hell, but both Joe and I are well aware that no earthly heat compares to the terribleness of hell. Revelation 21 and verse 8 refers to hell as a lake, not a beautiful one like the one we fished on. It's a lake that burns with fire and brimstone and is called the second death. Well, once again, Joe and I came home with no fish, but there's never a bad day on a river. Perhaps in a few more days the fish will be hitting big time and we can get in on some real action. Thanks, Joe, for introducing me to fly fishing, and thank you all for thinking with me today. Remember to let your time in the outdoors lead you to think about God and His Word.